There's plenty of evidence already which shows that small modular reactors are being adopted in other countries, and unlike old technology, they don't need to be placed next to a water catchment. This is the future, isn't it?
Absolutely, Jake. I mean, I moved in the last parliament to remove the ban on nuclear energy. I'll be doing the same in this parliament. I don't think we need any more reviews. The jury is in on this. Other nations are building nuclear power stations. We should have those as an option here too. But look, there's a marathon, not a sprint here, to go to the next election. So there'll be plenty of time for that review to come back and inform whatever policies the coalition takes the next election. There's time for that, and I'm happy with the progress that Peter Dutton has made in that regard. But keep in mind today, the United Kingdom has announced that they are going to build 8 new nuclear power stations, and they're not your small modular type. This is another thing I think we're getting tripped on here. We're all obsessed by these small modular reactors, and I hope they take off, but there are no commercial ones just yet. We can build a lightwater reactor that have been built for 50 years safely today. So we shouldn't close off any options. That's what's got us in this mess. We're in this mess because we decided to black ban coal or say no to gas and totally not even consider nuclear. Let's keep all options on the table: light water reactors, small modular reactors, whatever we need to deliver the results of cheap power to people and more jobs in manufacturing.
Yeah, that's right. We've got to do it fast though, because I think, Matt, it's about, 10 years from go to woe in terms of these
well, probably.
these SMRs?
I mean, look, this is... Yeah, well, the SMRs, that's true. The General Electric announced, Dow Chemical announced that they would install some General Electric or look to install some small modular reactors in 2030. That's their timeline they're working on. So they're probably many years away. And look, it would take a long time to build any nuclear power station because we do not have the industry, we do not have the supply chain. That's why we should do it now, as soon as possible. To give that option to the future. And because of that time, I still think we've got to build a coal-fired power station too. We've got to do all of the above. We do not have 8 to 10 years to wait for a nuclear power station to come along.
Well, that's right. And you just mentioned that we need to bring back manufacturing jobs. And I know people in the Labor Party say that, or actually I think there'd be a section now in the Labor Party who say, no, screw manufacturing jobs, we've moved on. But the thing is, the only way to bring back manufacturing jobs, Matt, isn't it, is if we have cheap energy. That's right. Reliable baseload power that's cheap.
Yeah, we've got high wages in this country, and I want that to continue. I don't want our wages to have to suffer or be reduced. And so the only way to have a successful manufacturing industry when you've got high wages is to have cheap energy, so you can compete on that. We've got a choice. We can either have cheap energy or no jobs. That's the choice. And with all the natural resources we've got, there is no reason we shouldn't be able to deliver energy cheaply. Some of it should be, and should be again, have some of the cheapest power prices in the world. That will make us a magnet to invest, especially in heavy, intense manufacturing. We've got usually the resources to process those as well. I mean, I'll just leave with this. There's a lot of interest in green, so-called green minerals like lithium and cobalt and nickel. This stuff is not particularly green in its manufacture, I can tell you that, but it goes into cars and batteries. But wouldn't it be good if we actually could process that stuff here and have those jobs, not just dig the rocks up and send them overseas? We should be aiming to have the manufacturing and the processing of those resources too, but we won't have that unless we have cheap and affordable energy.
Well, I suspect many viewers tonight are agreeing with everything you're saying. So how a country like ours, which is rich in resources and minerals, has the world's most expensive electricity is nothing short of a disgrace and a failure of government policy.